Hello. I'd like to talk to you about what I think is step one if you want to follow any spiritual practice. And I call it conscious breathing. It's an ancient technique. They call it meditation. I'd just like to explain my view on this ancient art. Conscious breathing is sitting in a place that you're comfortable in. Hopefully that inspires you to feel spiritual. And being in this place to sit and breathe. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to breathe. Nice, slow, steady breaths. And in order to help you, you want to count your breaths. Count your breaths up to 100. Then you're done. 100. It takes a little while. Take a half an hour or so to do that. You can do. Okay, there's 1. 2. And in your mind voice, you don't have to say it out loud, but in your mind voice you can count 1, 2, 3 in your head. Now, the idea is to relax your body. So it's almost like letting go of the tension in your body. Just let it go. Let it drain off you. And when you feel that tension, seek it out in your body, because the body knows what the mind supposes. So if you relax the body, right, and you breathe deeply and keep on concentrating on your breath and not on your mind voice in your head, the chatty Cathy up in your head. The chatty Cathy in your head, the internal monologue that goes on constantly, is your ego. But there's more to your consciousness than your ego. I believe our consciousness is habituated to the mind voice and to being attached to the mind voice in our heads. And that's who we think we are. However, by distracting yourself from listening to chatty Cathy going on about your regret, shame, guilt, about the past and the things you did wrong and the things that were done to you that were wrong, or going on about the future and your fears about the future, having to get sick and die, or your great hopes for making $1 million or finding love or acclaim or power in the future. Your mind voice is always going on about that, but the one thing it does like to avoid is appreciation for your present moment. And that's what you're trying to do with this idea of conscious breathing. You're just taking your attention as best as you can off of your inner dialogue and focusing instead on counting your breaths, relaxing the tension in your body, and stepping back from that constant monologue, from that egocentric tiny tip of the iceberg, so that you can then step back into a more expanded inner space that can eventually, with enough practice, bring you instant peace of mind and plug you into your present moment. Because the present moment is actually the only time we exist in. There is no past. There is no future. There's this ever-present instant of present existence. That's what really exists. And that's what you're trying to do with this, getting out of being distracted by your regrets of the past or your hopes for the future, and just be in the present moment. The past is gone. The future only hoped for, and for you, beloved, is the moment in which you are. 3. 4. Letting the tension drain off you. And when you stop concentrating, even for a second, on your mind voice, going, oh, what am I going to have for dinner? I wonder if I'm going to see Matt later on today, or if we're going to do, what do we do? Oh, that time, man, and I should have told that woman I loved her, and I didn't, and oh my God, I could have had the greatest time in the world, and oh, why didn't I do this, and why did I do that, and oh, wait a minute. You don't cut off the mind voice. Right? When you find yourself listening to Chatty Cathy in your head and being attached to that monologue, you go, oh, you realize it, and then you go, oh, wow, that's right, I'm supposed to be concentrating on my breath. Let's see, what is it, six? And what happens is your mind, the scientists have shown that your mind is flooded with alpha waves, and a higher vibration of consciousness is what comes to you if you can distract yourself from that tiny, petty, little mind voice in your head. Because there's a larger consciousness that exists, a deeper and eternal, infinite consciousness. It's vast as the cosmos. And if you can plug into that, what happens is you begin to get spiritual and inspiring thoughts that bubble up from deep within you, and that can inspire your mind and fill you full of a sense of peace, a sense of relaxation, or feeling comfortable in your own skin, and being much more than your critical mind voice. It's always putting you down and full of regrets and sorrows and troubles, habituating on the abuse you may have suffered, and all of those other psychological problems, trauma bonds, and other things. When you're in the present moment and you're totally relaxed and you get to that final 100, well, you've gone deep. And then you are able to find more, even in your daily and busy lives, where you can't be sitting there, just floating on the present moment. And you're kind of caught up in your life. There's still that sense of expanded space and peace and an understanding that despite you're in the world, but you're not of the world. You have this witness that just watches it all, watches the wheels turn, and just relaxes into the moment and is able to enjoy the moment and find great gratitude in the moment, because you're not always obsessed with all the bad things and all the fear and the shame and the guilt and all those things that are encapsulated in the beautiful wisdom of the I Ching. 2 words: no blame. You start living in this present moment where you are totally accepting, totally grateful and loving, kind, and excited to experience your life. It is a very different way of approaching life than we're used to, with all the worries and the troubles. Take 100 deep breaths, stay conscious of your breath, distract yourself from Chatty Cathy in your head, and open up the expanded space within you of who you truly are and connect to that vast consciousness. And then you'll find peace of mind and love of life and be able to be productive and of service and enthused for your life. Enthused meaning full of God. To be like God in that sense that you're very much present in the moment, engaged in your life, enjoying every moment, grateful for every moment, accepting of whatever the universe has to give you, because as you rise out of that petty, tiny little point that is the Chatty Cathy in your head, you begin to realize that you are surrounded by the totality of a loving and very gracious and beautiful universe that begins to show you in a very personal way that it is also has a personality, and that personality is totally open, has no ego, is always loving, creative, outward directed, and loves existence and loves you for existing, and shows you in synchronicities, meaningful dreams and other experiences, chance meetings, many magical and mystical experiences that can unfold when you trust the universe and accept the universe, where you don't feel like you're being robbed of anything or you're not getting what you need, and all of those other less egotistical or egocentric concerns. The conscious breathing can allow you to open yourself up to a greater and more peaceful, more accepting, and more loving existence. And that's why it's been around for 10,000 years, since the Vedas and began to create mantra meditation. I call it conscious breathing, and I hope that you enjoy many hours of sitting there, looking at your present moment, seeing how beautiful that tree in your yard is, and just not always listening to chatty Cathy in your head, but experiencing the pure bliss of the present moment when you're totally relaxed and totally accepting of yourself, of existence, and of everyone and everything in it. I wish you many blessings, and thanks for listening. Take care.